Apologies for absence. Matt?
Yes, Chair. Apologies from Councillor Godding.
We'll assume Tamina will come in a bit later, I'm assuming, okay. Can I sign the published record of the 5th of December as a true set of minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Remind members of Section 106, Local Government Finance Act, and any declarations of interest. Are there any declarations on the report tonight? Okay. The first report. Okay, thank you. And I'm assuming Tamina will have that as well, yeah? The airport. You're no longer on the board, okay. Business not covered by current forward plan, general exception. And there's no business not covered by the special urgency, no references from committees and other bodies, no recommendations from scrutiny reviews, and no petitions. And the first report is mine, and it's to do, oh no, the first report is the minutes, which we've agreed. First report is mine, and it's to do with the Luton Rising Community Funding Programme. And can I first of all thank OSB for their deliberations on this report, which considers the establishment of a charitable foundation by Luton Rising for their future community funding programme. There are 5 options for executive to consider this evening for how this should be established, and the recommendations from the Luton Rising Board and Overview and Scrutiny Board is option 5, being the establishment of a charitable foundation that is administered by a qualified third party. Paragraphs 11 to 17 outline how this would be established, and paragraph 16 proposes the establishment of a steering group to oversee this. I would therefore recommend that the executive support the recommendation of option 5 and agree to the establishment of a charitable foundation. Are there any questions? Tom?
In the report, from when I read it, there's no option 5 in the report. I take it the recommendation is option 5, what you made, because you've got option 1 to 4 in the printed part.
And option 5 is the recommendation.
Option 5 is a recommendation, that's all. Yeah, just to clear it up in my own mind.
Yeah. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
David?
Just to be sure, Hazel, the Bedfordshire and Luton Fund presumably will be given an opportunity to tender for the administration. Bedfordshire and Luton Fund.
Yes, I'm assuming that, like anyone, they will be able to attend it. Yeah. It's down to the steering group, obviously, to come up with the direction.
Well, of course, if they come up with a reason why they shouldn't be, then yeah, that's fair enough.
I wouldn't have thought so. Okay, that report is before members. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. You're declaring an interest in item 10. Okay, right. Somebody get Kachita back. Yes. She's coming back. Okay, all right. I'm going to move on to item 9 then, which again is me. Sorry about that. But this is to look at the Luton 2040 Vision and Corporate Plan refresh. The proposal is for the executive to consider and adopt the updated Luton 2040 Vision and Refresh documents that are before you this evening. Both documents were initially published with an immediate focus on overcoming the COVID-19 pandemic and laying the foundations for our long-term vision. It was agreed at the time that both would be updated regularly. So far, there have been many successes in delivering the Luton 2040 vision across the system, some of which are outlined in paragraphs 5 to 7. The updated Luton 2040 vision document is still focused on the long-term mission to tackle poverty. The priorities within the vision have been updated to reflect the shift from COVID recovery to delivery over the next 5 years. And refreshed target outcomes, strategies and deliverables are there for each priority. The main changes target outcomes, strategies, and the main changes to each priority are summarised in paragraph 11. Although this is a long-term strategic approach, the document and its subsequent strategies do recognise the immediate challenges that we're all facing, such as the cost of living crisis, setting out some of the actions that we are taking across the system right now to support our most vulnerable residents. The updated Luton Council corporate plan has been developed through engagement with members, senior council officers and their teams. This updated plan sets out the work that the council will do over the next 5 years to deliver the Luton 2040 vision, with 5 priorities aligned to those within the vision document. The 6th priority sets out how the council will ensure its financial sustainability, workforce and services to deliver effectively in a continually challenging context for local government. The updated Luton 2040 vision and corporate plan are important documents that set the overall direction for the town and the council over the next 5 years as we continue on our journey towards Luton 2040. I therefore recommend that the executive adopt both of these documents. And I'll try and answer any questions, but we do have officers in attendance this evening if you've got really technical questions you wish to ask. Are there any questions? Are we happy to approve both those documents? Thank you very much. We now move on to item 10. You're all going out, yes? Okay. Rob, I believe that's yours.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This is the subject of the item 10, Article 4 directions. This report starts on page 149 of the agenda pack. This report was considered by our Review and Scrutiny Board on the 7th December 2022, where the recommendation was supported. The new Article 4 direction in the town centre and surrounds is proposed to be implemented following the expiration of the previous one on July 31, 2022. Members may recall the Council chose to consult on a non-immediate effect Article 4 direction due to the associated compensation risk involved with bringing the Article 4 direction into effect within 12 months of its making at the proposed locations. Following the consultation period, the Council received 4 representations, 2 from private individuals, 1 received from Historic England and the other from the University of Bedfordshire. 2 responses were neutral, 1 response in support and 1 objection to the proposals. A summary of the representation and the Council's response can be found at paragraphs 14 to 29 of the report. The Secretary of State has not directly commented on the proposals as yet, but the Council has been notified that they are currently assessing the proposals with supporting evidence submitted to them by the Council. The Secretary of State can cancel or modify an Article 4 direction at any point, and the Council's position is therefore unaffected. It is proposed that the new Article 4 direction for Luton Town Centre and surrounds that was made on the 5th of October 2022 is confirmed as recommended in paragraph 1, subsection 2 of the report, so as to come into effect on the 6th of October 2023. The implementation of this article direction will not carry compensation risk, as the direction will be implemented after 12 months of the notice being made to withdraw the permitted development rights. The Executive is therefore recommended to consider and agree the responses to representations received during the recent public consultations for the Article 4 direction for Luton Town Centre and surrounds, confirm the non-immediate Article 4 direction for Luton Town Centre and surrounds made on the 5th of October 2022, attached at Appendix A, to remove the ability to convert commercial business and service uses Class C to residential use Class C3 to come into effect on the 6th of October 2023. This will also include the removal of the words existing and proposed from the maps and remove the words Portland Road from the Article 4 direction. Delegate authority to the Services Director, Sustainable Development in consultation with the portfolio holder with responsibility for inclusive economy, finance, revenue and benefits to implement this decision.
Are there any questions? Everybody happy to agree the report? Thank you very much. We now move on to item 11. I believe that's Rob again.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the briefing note for setting the council tax base rate. Setting the council tax base is a statutory calculation required annually in order to calculate the council tax for the following year. It must be set by the 31st of January 2023. As this is a technical paper, an overview of the tax base calculation is as follows. It takes into account every property banded in the valuation list as the 3rd of October 2022 and is adjusted for the following: growth, occupation of each property based on 2 adults, discounts and exemptions, premiums, an adjustment for the level of council tax reduction and an estimated collection rate. The result is then averaged and expressed as band D equivalent figure. As shown at point 9 of the report, this year's calculation is showing positive growth in the tax base, an increase of 2,020.48 over the figure for the previous year. This is due to growth in the borough and a reduction in the number of people claiming council tax reduction. The breakdown of the adjustments is shown at point 18 and includes a 5% provision for the delayed collection. The collection rate has been reduced down to 95% to reflect the challenge posed by the cost of living and looking recession. I recommend the recommendations are accepted. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Are there any questions? Tom?
One question on the report, where it mentions people in receipt of council tax benefit. For some reason, we can't attach that council tax benefit to universal credit payments. And what happens is, we know the people who are universal credit because we're normally paying them housing benefit as well. There must be a way we can do it, because what happens at the moment is they get the universal credit check with the housing benefit included in the universal credit check. We can't include the council tax benefit in there because it's a separate tax completely, which is administered by us. They fall behind on the council tax. We take them to court. So they've already had a £70-odd fine when we take them to, not fine, the court costs for the bailiffs and everything. And the first thing we do is get an attachment to the universal credit. So the connection is there because we get the attachment somehow to the universal credit payments. Surely it'd be better for everybody around the council and the claimant if, first of all, they didn't have to have the £70-odd court charges, and we didn't have to go as far as to get the attachment to earnings on the universal credit payment. I know it's a bit technical on the universal credit payments, because that'd be better for everybody then. Is there a way we can look at to see if we can tie the two things together, the universal credit payments and the council tax benefit?
Well, I'm happy to take that to the officers. I mean, Dev's here. I don't know if you heard that, but I'm happy to take that to officers because I think it's a fair challenge.
Dev, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I think I'll just repeat what Councillor Rose said. Is we'll take it back. Is technical, Councillor Shaw. So we'll take it back and we'll get you a full answer of that. But that's a fair point. If you can coordinate that, that's absolutely will be great. We'll come back on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other questions? No? Happy to agree the report? Thank you very much. Move on to item 12. And board membership of Luton and Kent Commercial Services. And I think that's you again, Rob.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you. Executive, we're aware that since the 31st of August 2020, Luton Council has been in joint venture partnership with Commercial Services Kent Limited. The joint venture is called Luton and Kent Commercial Services Limited Liability Partnership, known as Connect to Luton, and operates the council's contingent labour requirements. This company is set up as a limited liability partnership on a 50-50 basis. The setting up of this company was formally approved by the council executive on the 10th of February 2020. Executive will also be aware that Connect to Luton has performed strongly since its inception, as outlined in paragraph 3. Following the resignation of the Corporate Director for Inclusive Economy, this report is seeking some straightforward personnel changes to the board of Luton and Kent Commercial Services LLP. It is therefore recommended that the position of the board member is filled by the Service Director of the Customer and Organisational Development. This offer is currently an officer appointee of the LLP Executive Board. This appointment will free up space for another executive board member from Luton Council. It is recommended that Service Director for Quality and Improvement is appointed to this vacancy. This officer is the lead officer for the Council's Social Work Academy and is a key service user of Connect to Luton, so brings valuable insight into this new role. Thank you.
Are there any questions from anybody? Happy to agree that? Thank you very much. We now move into Regulation 4. Can I take that as read?